All right, it takes a second to
Right.
populate.
Well, the chat will be live here in a minute. It always takes it a second, but you should see a notification. And what's cool is it'll have one chat for everything, so we don't need to have multiple live streams open, which is nice because it's easy to monitor through here. That was like the big feedback they were getting, is that like it's hard to do restream, so they made this. But I love restream, and we got
dude, it seems
background
cool.
now. Boom, already live. Look at that. Fantastic. All righty, everybody. Happy Friday and welcome to a new series that me, Arturo, and Walter are going to be doing every Friday. The Rant, brought to you by the Firebrand Project & Co. So welcome, everybody. And guys, thank you for being here. I'm looking forward to this. So how are you guys doing? What's going on this week?
Oh, here's a good story. On the way back from the cross country meet, my lug nuts got loose on my car. So that was a nice little unexpected stop where it's like, you're riding along and it goes dug, dug, dug. I'm like, huh? I'm with my daughter. I'm like, do you hear that? Yeah, it sounds like it's coming from behind you, Daddy. So I pulled off and I'm like, where's the damn lug wrench? So I tightened up the light. Like, this is another thing. Like last week, I almost choked to death on an apple. And this week, it was my lug nuts. Well, I was walking along eating this apple, and I just like thinking about things, like getting mad, like, God damn. And then I was like, and I like sucked it down. And then I couldn't get it out because I couldn't get in the air. So I'm just sitting there like, this is what's going to take me out. A fucking apple. I've been worried about all this other shit. I'm going to choke to death on an apple. And I coughed so hard, I like blew out my eye. My eye like was all red. My kids were like, oh my God, you look crazy. You look like Darth Maul. But then that's healing up now. So everybody be safe out there. You know, what's going to get us isn't going to be the government. It's going to be your car. It's going to be a car accident or an apple.
It'll be a fucking apple. An apple slice. Right. That'll be it. No, my God. That's crazy. Arturo, what's going on with you, man?
No, nothing, just same old stuff. Chasing grandkids and, dog, my 15-year-old dog and, all that stuff. And
18-year-old dog?
15.
15, dude. That's good. That's good for a dog.
She's a pit bull too, and they don't normally live that. Yeah, I've never had I've always had pit bulls, but I've never had one live that long. So
yeah, dude, that's you giving her all the supplements, dude. She's getting like that good treatment. Both my dogs. I've been pumping them full of supplements since they second they were eating normal food. I'm like, have these supplements because I'm like, I want you guys to run forever. I've had dogs that, they get older and then they're like, they can't move around as much. They're stiff. And I was like, no, I want you run until the day you die. I want you to just, we go on a walk every day and, you just gotta, if you've got a dog, give your dog supplements, give your dog some supplements.
A lot of times I spoil her too, because we eat rice with every meal around here, right? Because we're Cuban, so it's rice and beans all the time. But we always have leftover rice, man. I'll warm that up, put it in her dog food. She loves it.
Yeah.
It's just rice, it's no big deal, but she loves rice. Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, so I guess this week for me it's been a little. I started off the week. Monday, I ended up rebuilding my whole computer and I was super stressed because I've got all the components out on the table. And, when you put it all together, it's like, use force. I'm like, dude, I don't want to fucking push hard on this motherboard. Yeah. This thing costs $200. Like, I don't know. It's like, and it snaps and I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, oh God, I got to do this 3 more times. But I got it all built and now I can run 1,000 tabs on my computer. So nice. Until I figure out my lighting, I'll be particularly pale. I don't know what it is. I'm just gonna say I'm glowing.
There you go.
But it's nice to have it all set up, and it was really cool. My family came out to support me, and a bunch of friends came out to support me, and I was able to get all this put back together. So it's pretty cool. This week's been interesting. I mean, there's a lot of fucking annoying shit particularly infuriating. Just I don't know. It's like we got No Kings coming up, and it's gonna be awesome. And a lot of people are saying they're going to declare martial law. I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know. I think if there's anything at this point, we've realized that it's just, I don't think it's going to happen, dude. I don't think they can do it. I think that there's no justification. Like, what are you going to roll the fucking Tiananmen Square for a bunch of frog suits? Like, can you imagine that picture of fucking Abrams, bunch of little frogs standing there?
The weakness of this regime has been exposed. It's been exposed again and again and again. Yeah. Just the self-loathing and the incompetence. And I was just talking with Elizabeth Silica LaRue about this, how we get these narcissists and they know that they're worthless. So the only thing they can do is be like, well, you're not good enough. And you should say thank you. And you're not good enough. And you're a sinner and you're bad. And everything you do it's because they're looking at you and they're like terrified of you because they see in you somebody who's accomplished and educated and capable. And it's just all these fucking white supremacists in this country and the way they get out there. And like the mouthy renegade writer the other day, he had a funny thing. He writes, because Megyn Kelly said, oh, she's going to run for president to stop Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez from winning. And then he writes, in related news, I'm considering taking singing lessons to prevent Taylor Swift from staying off the Billboard album charts.
Oh my God.
But it's like these stupid things that they say, right? And there's never any pushback for these Republicans. They say something that's just fucking asinine, and then they're like, oh, you stuck it to the lips again. But it's like, it's going to be exposed. We're on the point of narcissistic collapse, and I'm ready for it.
Yeah, it's just funny that, like, I don't know, the whole Megyn Kelly thing, I think she made it, like with a lot of like conservatives, they think it's about looks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They think it's because, I can be hotter than her or whatever. And I'm like, I'm sorry, you can't, because she's smart and that's what makes her hot. You know what I'm saying?
And that's like Meghan McCain when she was bitching about Nepo babies. It's like, lady, you're a Nepo baby. It's like, quit it. And then she was mad. I saw her saying something the other day. She's like, well, conservatives are getting, they're not getting served at restaurants. And it's like, yeah, well, immigrants are getting kicked out of the country right now. So it's not all about you. So that's the kind of stuff. It's just every day, though. The rage you got to let the rage out.
Just the dumb shit they say. And I wanted to share this fucking meme because this is probably one of my favorite things. Why don't you wear a suit in my office?
Oh, God.
So check this out. Fucking JD Vance getting assaulted by a polar bear. Polar bear saying, why don't you wear a suit in my office? We didn't hear you say thank you once. This is one of my favorite images of all time. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I mean, how, like, fuck, dude. Like, this is all coming out around Greenland too. And I was like, yeah, you know what? You're going to go to Greenland and you're not going to wear a suit in his office? What the fuck is... What the fuck is up with that?
That guy. Stephanopoulos finally shut him down. It was sort of like the one time I was, happy to see him do his job, even though he still let him rant a little too long. But you got to cut those guys off when they start lying.
Oh, and Mamdani ripped Cuomo a new one.
Oh, yeah.
That was so good.
Who did?
Mamdani.
Oh, I got to see
the mayoral debate last night.
Okay, good. Oh, I didn't see it yet.
He's
been coming out there with haymakers. When you're not a bought and paid for politician, you can use the talking points that actually win. That's the lesson of this whole election cycle.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You've been
in the debate last night, I thought was funny because I don't like Curtis Sliwa, the founder of the Guardian Angels and stuff. There's a lot of issues with that guy, but the way he was going after Cuomo too was just like, going after him about not being able to take no for an answer after he lost his own primary. I'm like, oh my God, dude, Cuomo, you're getting roasted by a shitheel, dude. Like, come on.
And just the way the media protects
Democrats too in general. They've started Nancy Pelosi told that person to shut up.
Yeah.
Hakeem Jeffries came for Carolyn Levitt.
Yeah.
I think the winds are starting to shift, and they are realizing that they might be like it just shows that they're kind of huge babies, and that they were scared as fuck and they weren't willing to say anything. But now that it's becoming very clear that they suck and they're unpopular, and like you were saying, his approval ratings are like so bad.
Very bad.
And yeah, I think maybe they're starting to realize they're starting to do to them what they've been fucking receiving and just taking forever.
And they're finally getting over their dumb idea of, well, we can't be like them, you know? And it's sort of like the example I always put is like, just because a Republican picked up a hammer and used it to murder somebody doesn't mean you can't pick up a hammer to build a house. You know, it's like, you don't have to like leave the hammer on the ground. Fucking pick it up and use it right. And we can't like just abdicate all the effective arguments and rhetorical tactics. And they just sit there like, Republicans do nothing but campaign 24 hours a day using rote indoctrination again and again and again. And the Democrats are like, well, we'll just use critical thinking once a year and win. It's like, you have to use, it's like rote is part of learning, you know, rote is part of learning too. And it's like, you have to answer the lies. You can't let the lies go uncontested. So I keep having these progressive challengers and primary. I interviewed 2 congressional candidates this week. And I just tell them that. I'm like, it's like, don't even talk about raising taxes. Talk about how we give billions and billions in subsidies and PPP loans and bailouts to rich people. All the fucking billionaires of this country have been receiving money hand over fist. Like, they've been dumping truckloads of money at their fucking house. It has nothing to do with taxes. It's the free money we give them. Just mention that. And then and also say something about the fact that they're rounding up and killing immigrants. I mean, that's kind of a big deal. I'm an immigrant household. I feel afraid. I don't want to have to feel like my kids are in danger constantly. And you guys just sit there and nod when the Republicans say all these lies and equate, you know, say all these horrible things. But you guys got to answer that. You got to speak up, and they're getting there.
Yeah, you know, I feel you on the whole immigrant household thing too. You know, because we're an immigrant household, you know, my kids, my grandkids are all Latino, right? Like my niece and nephew are Black kids. Like, you know, they're 8 and 10. Like I worry about them, you know, all the time. I worry about, you know, my kids and grandkids and all that stuff, like the future that's being laid out for them. And like, it's a really scary time. Like, you know, like most everybody in my house has opted, because we're in Texas, right? We're not like in New York or more liberal area, but like we've kind of like stepped back from the no kings thing because it's too risky for us. So yeah, but I mean, I support it 100%, and I think it needs, you know, the no kings thing is a message that needs to be heard. And I think it's hilarious that on social media conservatives are referring to it as an anti-American thing. And I thought to myself, oh man, you're about to see a lot of American flags tomorrow. You know what I mean? Because that's how you answer that. That's how you respond to that. Anti-American, look at all these flags, you know?
Yeah, totally. And I mean,
I want to say, go ahead, Shane.
Think about like how you have all of these, you know, these fucking people, and they're going on about like how like the whole anti-American thing, and you turn around though, and you know what is anti-American with fucking ICE fucking tased a guy to death. I don't know, you saw that shit in Texas. They fucking killed a guy again.
They murdered another American. Is what they
killers, dude. They're killers. They're murderers. Like that dead ass. Like, I'm sorry, that's a fucking pattern. What we have, Silverio, you have this gentleman, you have like there's so many at this point. Like, it's one of those things where you can see it, you know. And
you know, you had the guy who died at the glass house raids outside of LA earlier this year. You've had 15 or 16 now that died in detention centers, because most of them because of a lack of adequate health care. So yeah, I mean, they're a rogue agency. Like, it's not just ICE either, it's Homeland Security in general. I saw a video this morning posted by David Beer from the Cato Institute, and it showed a DHS officer drunk as hell getting pulled over in the Florida Keys by local cops. And like, dude was like putting up a fight. He was drunk as hell, had his kids in the car, was all over the road. And he's like, no, I'm fed, man. Like, I'm federal. Like, and that's because the administration is telling them they don't have to listen to local cops. So they think they're above the law. And that's the issue here. They're shitting all over the 10th Amendment, which divides federal and local law enforcement power.
A drunk driver is going to kill your wife. Doesn't matter.
Right.
I mean, it's like, and that's the class. I mean, the class of people that they're getting for these jobs, because everybody knows they're awful. But I want to say too, like, everybody watch, and it's really important, it's like staying at home, because I'm not going to bring my kids to the protests. I'm going to go, but I'm the white dude. I'm the big white dude, so I can go and be a physical presence there. And I'm going to bring the dog. I got a lab mix, so he'll be okay. But the other thing too is, I was like, those of us who feel safe in doing it, we have to continue to speak. Like just the other day, at my daughter had her basketball tryouts, and somebody he comes up to me, he's like, "Are parents allowed at these things?" He's like, "Well, they can't make me leave because the United States government is waging war on immigrants, and if ICE shows up here, I'm gonna have to fight them off." And he's just like, I kind of said it like laughing. He's like, and he was like not really sure, and he was like, "God, it's a shame you got to say that." And I'm like, you have to laugh about it too. I'm laughing about it, but I'm like, have these conversations. It can be like low stress. So it's like, no, seriously, the U.S. government is waging war on my family right now. They're gonna want, and we're on the front lines, but they'll come after you next. That's what's going on, because we're all like this code of silence where we're not talking about it. Like and people they want to talk about it. They want to. When you walk out in the grocery store, people are furious because they see all those prices. They want to talk about it. So you're like, God damn those Republican tariffs. Look at how expensive this shit is. And you'll have sick people. Maybe the 7th will be like, won't say anything, but 6 will cheer. And maybe that 7th will start to have it get into his head a little bit. But yeah, those of you who feel safe doing that again, because if you're a targeted person, I don't want to shame people. Right. I feel safe doing it, so I'm gonna.
When I'm at the grocery store and I see the cost of eggs or milk, I'm loud. I'm like, Jesus, look at the price of these eggs. And I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like super loud about it. Like, can you believe cheese is this much? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you should just look at the person next to you. You're shopping and you're like, what the fuck? Kraft mac and cheese is how much? What the fuck? And it's shit like that. And it's also like, I think people do, like you said, they want to talk about it, but there's this existing taboo that is so strong in America. But also, these companies, they're so fucking good at raising prices. They just change it a little bit and a little bit and a little bit, because it's only shocking because it's now so outrageously expensive. It's not affordable. It's not like they weren't raising these prices anyway. It's that they have spent probably billions of dollars studying just how much you can raise a price so that people don't notice. And it's like, this is all these fucking companies, dude. It's all bullshit. They just want to milk everybody dry, and then they won't be able to afford their fucking milk. So it's it's just one of those things where it's like so fucking obvious now, and people do want to talk about it, because it's like, all right, you're gonna slap me in the face and just tell me like to fucking eat it, like.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Multi Renegade Writer. I see him in the chat. So hey, buddy.
Yeah, it's it's just greed as a motherfucker like that. Like, they don't. I don't know, anybody who like this is why I don't believe in like brand loyalty and stuff like that, because corporations don't give a fuck about you, man. Like, you know what I mean? I buy whatever shoe I need because it's on sale. It doesn't have to be a Nike. It doesn't have to be Adidas. I mean, I prefer Adidas, but
people fall into that shit, like brand loyalty, like that's the same as like mega loyalty. That company don't care shit about, and it's sort of like professional loyalty. Like your business, you keel over dead, they'll have another guy in that seat tomorrow. And it's like, but this is just like American indoctrination. We were talking about this with Elizabeth Silic LaRue, how we're all just pressured to like give up our labor for free all the fucking time, like exploitation. And it's like for this promise of a future reward. Fuck you, man. It's like, I'm 50 now. Where's that reward? At some point I should see a little bit of it. I mean, when I was 10, I listened to them because they were adults and they were like, you gotta obey the law, and you gotta obey order and the patriarch and all that bullshit. But this is all, I call it the white supremacy code of silence, all that shit we're just not supposed to talk about, which would completely dismantle their narcissistic bubble that they live in. And part of that too is just like part of our talk today, the fact that we won't admit that the pedophiles in our society are all of these Republicans and conservatives who are the ones shouting and accusing everyone else of doing the crimes they're fucking guilty of.
Yeah, we got an epic resource for this today. Let's see here.
Let's segue into that. But I've just been writing about how the whole way white supremacy works is they target our kids because they know our kids are vulnerable to that crap. So, and they know their ideology is not serious. Here it is. The sexual predators that have been arrested.
Yes, this is just a list. I thought this was great because we're talking about this, and this is the topic of our rant today. I told Walter, I'm like, if you find me a list of Democrats this fucking long, I'll quit. I'll shut up. I'll go away forever. You find me a list of 1,467 Democrats that have been caught with allegations of harassment or assault or child abuse. I mean, fuck, dude. Rape? Nick Fountain?
Yeah, these are the Republicans now. We just got to emphasize that. I know what you were saying, but the list of Republicans arrested.
Yep. So this is our most recent addition. Mr. Paul, look at this guy.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. He's in the cabinet, isn't? Oh, I guess not. Oh, wait. He's a nominee. Of course he
is. Yeah.
Fuck. Is that like a job requirement in this administration? Actually, in all seriousness, is it? Or to be a Republican at all, you just gotta endorse child abuse and pedophilia and protect them like with every fiber of your being. Fuck.
I mean, you probably surround there's like the old phrase too. It's like you are who you hang out with, right?
Oh man,
this is who he wants to surround himself with. And what did he go down for? Harassment. Okay.
Yeah, wow. At least they got him on that. Speaking of that, I want to mention something I keep noticing in those Epstein videos. And this is another thing. You ever notice the way he's laughing? Like he does this like silent mouth, like body shake laugh. It's like that's the laugh that sociopaths do, or predators do to make sociopaths think they're funny. It's like there's no humor there. It's just like the imitation of. And like a sociopath is like, he wants to believe that he's the funniest guy in the room anyway. So he's just like, oh yeah, Epstein's my buddy. He thinks I'm hilarious. So that's just another tell to be looking out for.
Yeah. So in Ingrassia, like I did an article earlier this year for Unicorn Riot, and the editors retitled it and then called it Chuds on Parade, Meet Trump's Cabinet. Anyway, Ingrassia was on here. And I was like, what was it about this guy? And I remember he's the liaison to DHS, and he was reassigned from DOJ because he was bashing Pam Bondi. And then on here, I have it. It says he once referred to far-right misogynist Andrew Tate as the ancient ideal of excellence. He penned a Substack post called Free Nick Fuentes. And, to try to reinstate his accounts, Nazi little shit. And he once referred to Trump's former ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley, as an anchor baby and an insufferable bitch. So yeah, that's your guy. That's him, in the White House. So
yeah,
I have a whole list. I did one on Trump's cabinet. I did one on the Religious Liberty Commission and on the Homeland Security Advisory Council. That's got some really problematic people like Paul Andreessen, who just invested in Substack. That dude's scary, and he has no business he's practically a Nazi. I mean, he has no business on the Homeland Security Advisory Council. And that's one of the things that bothers me about some of these appointments. That
we gotta legit be scared for our kids, and like schools do not teach like how to identify a groomer because it overlaps so much with what goes on in churches, to be absolutely honest. It's like, beating people's ego down, telling them they're not good enough, telling them they're sinners, telling them to obey authority without question. All that shit is grooming. That's what religion is. And it's like, for fuck's sake, I want my kids to be protected. I want them to be enabled. Let's put kids in front of child predators. How about if we make that our campaign slogan for the future and actually stand up to it? And this goes too. It's like the Democrats have to start getting behind the new breed of politician that's actually willing to say these things and stand up for us instead of the old school one, or so up to their eyeballs in corrupt money that they refuse to act.
Yeah, we don't need politicians. We need fucking legislators who are gonna pass legislation to prevent this rampant pedophilia. I mean, 1,467. Okay, that's like the entirety of Congress 3 times over.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
okay, they could fill up the entirety of Congress and the Senate with just pedophiles. That is
I got to read this comment by the Mouthy Renegade writer. He goes, well, I mean, most of their hymns are like, Lord, come inside me. Fill me with your love.
Oh my God. What the hell?
There was this girl.
It's
I saw this
true.
girl. It was a clip, and she was just like, down on my knees, Lord, fill up the holes inside me. And she was just going on and on and on. And then she made the audience like join in. It's like, spray your grace all over my face, Lord.
oh,
Ugh.
oh my God.
I
Yeah.
don't want my kids
I
having
mean-
to listen to that shit.
Let's see who else we got here. Fountain, Mr. Fountain from Pennsylvania. Oh
Yeah,
God.
where do they get these names? I mean, what the
Dude.
hell?
No kidding.
Let's see. He was the township supervisor. He was
Wow.
appointed in 2013.
Jesus.
Well, let's see. What did he go down for? Soliciting a minor,
Yeah.
soliciting a child, 14 years old. That's Trump's
Yeah.
preferred age, I think.
Yeah,
Him and
yeah.
Trump have that
That's
in
the whole
common.
Epstein profile there. Yeah.
10
yeah.
counts of involuntary deviant sexual intercourse under what the hell, bro? 15
You know
counts
what
of-
though? Like for them to
Jesus.
actually do something to get caught for, like the mountain of
Wow.
stuff that's undiscovered, like just the mountains.
Yeah.
It's just awful. Look at these poor kids out there. All these
Dude,
fuck,
the
dude.
charges.
13, 5 under 13, 5 under 16. Fuck, man.
Wow.
Fuck.
That dude, I mean, probably not going to survive long in prison, and I wouldn't feel bad about it if he didn't.
Well, he'll probably
Cell
get a
block
pardon.
1.
He'll probably
Cell
get a
block
pardon
1.
before prison.
Fuck.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
The media won't talk about that either. Oh, that's just not something we mention. That's okay. All you got to do, I keep saying, like, all you got to do is slip a paper underneath the guy's pen and he'll sign it. I keep wishing somebody would like slip him a Denny's menu or something. So he's just like, fine, thinking it's an executive order. Free Denny's for America. Everybody can go eat at Denny's now.
There was
Man, and
someone
that-
on. Oh, yeah. Mr. Reap. We got
Oh
John
my
Reap,
God, Reap.
He
What the
reaps
hell?
what he sows. Yeah.
North Carolina. God.
Yep. That's how I expected him to look. Yep.
Popular comedian. I've never heard of this guy. Who is this guy?
Oh, well, everybody's a popular podcaster these days.
He won Last Comic Standing season 5. What the hell?
Wow.
Wow.
He's anti-woke.
Oh, okay.
course.
Okay.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Well, I guess we know what that means now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
9 counts of third-degree sexual exploitation.
Wow.
1 count. Let's see, he made a tweet here. Also, to all Trump voters, let's try not to rub it in too hard.
Man,
What?
the
Yeah.
fuck?
I'm surprised they didn't cancel him for saying that. That's probably why he
Yeah.
got arrested because of that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Fuck, dude, he should have sticked to rubbing it hard, dude, instead of raping kids. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
Something, man.
You
Jesus.
know,
Oh
Selena
my
tweet,
God.
Reap. Who is
Reap.
What the fuck? Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. This might
This
be,
is your face
funny.
when you realize you're going to cell
Yeah.
block 1.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know. Oh, fuck.
Well,
you know what?
that's one thing. America has never been too keen on prosecuting, child predators. So,
Man,
and
yeah, just sexual
continues to not
offenders
be.
in general. Most of them get light sentences, walk away with
Yeah.
probation. Like, it's crazy. Because
Mr.
that's like, man, you do-
Steinwan.
I'm a survivor of childhood sexual assault, and that shit stays with you forever. You know what I
Yes,
mean? It doesn't
yeah.
go away. So, like,
just- Just the
I-
rape
like-
culture of the United States. It's just, and then
Right.
it's just, and that's that code of silence again. Because that
Yeah.
I firmly believe that's part of white supremacy indoctrination. The sexual perversion is part of it, where they attack you for that, using shame, using guilt. I mean,
Yeah.
that actually works. And once you break people down like that to make them like these trauma bonded, because that's another thing what we got. The whole Republican Party is trauma bonded. This fucking asshole destroying the country, burning the Constitution as we watch. Like, how do we get through to that? And this is the one place where I'm like, okay, I start to have a little bit of sympathy, which I guess is a productive mindset to be, because there is a gap. There's like, you get abused. There's a period of time when you can help them, and then there's the moment where they just become evil, like what was done to them. And so we have to get them in that midsection. We have to stop the abuse. And then we have to reach the ones that are like still in that moment of shame and just be like, look, everybody in this fucking country has been abused. Okay. We don't have to put up with this shit anymore. That's not the way it has to be. We can have a government that works for us. Like all these arguments are what we need. And once we start talking about it, because this is like everything that the Republicans have said for the last 15 years has been a projection of all the crimes they've been guilty of. The evidence is out there. We just need to start telling people about it and mentioning it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these people too, you'll see they're in like local government.
Yeah.
Like our gun violence, right, is very, very well publicized. You know what's fucking not? Is the rampant child abuse. I'm sure the numbers are fucking insane because it's all of these guys in local government that are making sure they're not getting prosecuted. Like the only time these people go down is when they got like 5 counts, you know, like it's just, they're so, they get so comfortable and they feel so powerful that they just don't think anyone's ever going to catch them. Like Mr. fucking Steinwand here. Okay.
What the hell, man? Why are they all their names? I just don't get the names. How can they be all named that?
Of course, he's a game warden.
Yep. By 3 different Republican governors in the last 15 years. This year, September, gross sexual imposition with a person under the age of 15.
Jesus. And we talk about this, like these people in positions of power, and like Jen Budd, the former Border Patrol agent here on Substack, she like blew the lid off of like sexual assault in Customs and Border Patrol and Border Protection. And like it's really bad. Like these guys are constantly being arrested for it, and they're allowed to resign and keep their pensions and all that stuff. And it's just ridiculous.
You know, and the media never covers it, but that's in line too with, because I've said my wife works with the immigrant children from war-torn regions, and the media never discusses like the trauma of people that have come here after losing everything in their life. And they're so traumatized that they like walk through the halls. I've had them, you know, my wife's mentioned she'd had some, if she didn't come in for a day, they're just walking the halls screaming her name because she's the only person who's developed trust with that child in the school. These are kids. These are kids, America. For the love of fucking God, they're little kids. Can we stop having this Republican fucking hate machine? Can we push back against it a little bit? Women are bleeding out in parking lots. We're not talking about that. Kids are getting grabbed and raped, and nothing's being done about that. It's the fucking Republicans that are doing it. They're allowing it. They're enabling it. It has to stop. It has to stop.
He's out on fucking bond for $5,000.
I saw
until
that.
fucking February of next year.
So he only had to put up like $500 with a bondsman.
Yeah.
I mean, a $5K
$500.
bond.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude? Like, he's a fish and game warden. You think he won't just disappear into the woods, dude? Like, he's gonna be fucking creepy.
I read about a guy who just got a $2 million bond, and he just like had posted like, I don't agree with the policies of this government or whatever, and he like for posting something on, he's getting back. So that's just our court system. And I've talked with Will Fullwood a lot about this too, because he was well on his way to becoming a lawyer, and just the corruption in our justice system is, people wouldn't believe it. And I don't believe it. People who have gone through the system don't believe how corrupt it is. We're starting to believe now.
It's the Secretary of Education. How about that?
The WWE scandals. Yeah.
Oh,
she covered up a lot.
You know, and it's just that unquestionable authority. Like, and people, they get into those roles of power. And this is something I've talked about with people too. Cause like, even when I worked as a teacher, I don't like being like the head of the room. You know, that's just my personality, where it's like, as a teacher, it's like, you know, we're all together, working together to learn. We're all equals here. But some people, they get so high on that power. Like you're teaching like 10-year-olds and you're like, you know, this is everything about, cause they're these pathetic little empty shells that try to present themselves as human beings who really just want to hurt everybody around them to cover up for the emptiness and the self-loathing that they feel. Because they don't ever take the time to just improve themselves, because they already think they're the master fucking race.
I mean, this woman's responsible for the fucking education of American children, and she is literally the highest person in the country in regards to child education, and she is part of a complex cover-up of the molestation of ring boys. Why the fuck does that job even exist? Who the fuck needs a ring boy at the WWE? I mean, why? Dude, what the like, unless you just want to bring kids in there so Mr. Mel can go and fucking diddle him at the hotel. I mean, it's fucking disgusting. And she's still at her job. She's still doing her fucking job. I haven't seen her removed or arrested or anything.
That brings up a good point too, though. Like, just all these normalized things in society that really just exist to help these predators. And I mean, you think of like the beauty pageants. That's where they harvested all the kids for, the Epstein Island. And to some extent, people are saying because when they were sexualizing those really, really small kids, you remember this? Do they still do that? They had like that John Benet Ramsey, was that her name?
Yeah.
They had those pageants for kids that were like 9 or just so young. And it's like people are talking about this like this is a normal thing. You know what else is weird? Like those daddy-daughter dates. Like they do these like prom dates. I went to a daddy-daughter dance once, and this is what the hell? It's like, this is just weird. Or like, I'm your dad and I have to show you what a respectful date is. And it's like, it's just creepy. Some of that stuff's just creepy. I guess it could be done in a way. You can talk about respect without having it be like, oh, we're going to go together on a date. You're going to get all dressed up for me.
Yeah, that's weird. Like I didn't really have the girls to have to do the daddy-daughter dance, but I always thought that was weird. Yeah, I really did. Yeah. I thought it was strange.
It's one of those things that's just kind of lingering there, but then you're actually there and you're like, what the fuck? Because you're seeing the dynamic of other families.
Right. It's not like donuts with dad at school, or
coloring or something.
That's different. Yeah, that's a whole different ballgame. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
Let's color in Mickey Mouse and let's not put our kids in like high heels and like a short dress. I mean, that's freaking weird. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think we should, instead of the daddy-daughter dance, why don't we just do like a fucking what are like the little derby, dude, where you make a car and then
the soapbox derby or whatever.
Do that shit. That way you don't have to. And I think I just like going down the name here. Mr. Gardner, they caught him for peeping. They caught the gardener peeping.
Samwise Gamgee.
Look at it. Look at this peeper.
Yep, that's how they look. Yep.
See.
Wow. Republican
Secretary
Party
of State for North Dakota.
Yeah.
Man.
29. Surreptitious intrusion.
Oh God. Yeah. That was his nickname back in high school.
Mr. Surreptitious Intruder. Peeping in the girls' dormitories.
Oh, come
with
on,
his pants unzipped and his shirt pulled out. Oh my God.
He had, to be fair, he had already crossed the line, but that was, that just underscores it a couple more times. And puts it in bold. Yeah. Oh man.
Fuck.
Why isn't this stuff on the news? Why isn't there like a news station where they just go through all the Republicans who have been arrested for, accusing or attacking children? That'd be a totally legitimate thing to cover.
And that's one of the things that kills me about these conservatives and the whole QAnon and all this stuff, right? They're all supposedly so worried about child sexual assault, and they're always pointing to one political party. And it's like I say about racism, like racism knows no political party. Neither does really child sexual assault. But obviously there are patterns that you have to pay attention to. And that's what we're doing right now. And you know what I mean? So like, you can't sit here and say you care about billionaires, funding our elections if you only talk about George Soros, right? You can't claim that you care about kids being sexually assaulted if you're only worried about one party. Like, dude, that's so stupid, Most people that are sexually assaulted are assaulted by people who are close to them, like in the family and stuff. So, that's an issue like that transcends politics and culture and all that shit. It's an issue that needs to be resolved big time.
And the other side of that, is they constantly go on these lies and they attack innocent groups. They're attacking the LGBTQ plus community that is not, there's no evidence of that. And yet, and this goes back to us too, as viewers, because we sit there and passively listen to that. And even if we know that it's not true, you have to shout it into silence. There has to be a response right there, because the Republicans work by rote indoctrination. They repeat lies. And our elected representatives too have to shout them down and say that is not true. And it's to the point now where our representatives are afraid to even say the truth because they know the general public has been so indoctrinated with these ever repeated lies, and they just abdicate their responsibility to counter those lies. So that's what we have to do.
Yeah.
And all the people watching.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
messed up, I guess. You know?
Yeah, he messed up. He messed up.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Well, at least he's repentant, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Right.
Most
I
of
had
them
my
aren't.
pants unzipped and my shirt pulled out when I was looking in the dormitory.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At least I finished.
Like Alan wasn't it Alan Dershowitz who said that he kept his underwear on at Epstein Island or something?
Oh, yeah.
Shit like
that
that
was
What
his
the
defense,
fuck?
huh? He went to like some Ivy League college to come up with that defense, did he?
That's some
With money
weird
well
shit, man.
Mickey.
That's like the I didn't inhale defense.
Oh, wait. Finkel.
Oh,
David Finkel.
Yeah, it would be.
Oh.
Yeah. Man, come on, man.
What?
The school board.
Oh my god.
School board, of course.
Yeah.
And a mayor. He was arrested this year. Oh, for having child porn. Awesome.
Wow.
He posed as a 27-year-old woman. Yeah, he looks like a 27-year-old woman.
Oh my
for
god.
sure.
At some point, we got to just stop voting for people that are guilty of any form of sexual misconduct. It's like, let's make that another thing, actually guilty of sexual misconduct. Let's not give this guy more power,
Yeah.
I mean, if even if it's just alleged, man, like if they say they found that shit in your house, like that's enough. Like you shouldn't be, wait. If you're innocent, let's wait to see if you are innocent, and then maybe we could talk about you running for office. But until then, no way, man.
But
No
just
way.
the mechanism to defend these, just this level of corruption, it's just sickening. And you got to be mindful of it. You got to protect your kids. Don't take anything at face value. Don't ever assume just because somebody's a pastor or a school board member or the president of the United States that person's not going to turn around and get your kid in a quiet room and just brutally rape them. Because apparently there's a lot of instances of that happening.
Where you send your kid every day and you trust that they will be supervised and taken care of, right? Like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's so absurd, but it's naive as fuck to think that if all these child predators are not going to put themselves around children, there should be a fucking law that says if you are arrested or put on a sex offender list, you cannot run for office ever again under no circumstances. That is not something we should tolerate in the government.
And
if you're going to be a leader,
parents have to trust their instincts. These are your kids, and it's better to be to have an uncharitable thought about somebody. It's like, okay, that's kind of wrong, but that's not nearly as wrong as allowing somebody who actually is a predator to have their way with your child. And everything in our society pushes people. I keep having people quote this dumbass thing for me, never assume evil when ignorance, explains it just as well. I think that's bullshit. That might have been true 1,000 years ago, but since then, I'm assuming evil. And you know what? You can prove you're not evil. And if it offends you to go through the process of proving you're not evil, then fuck you, you're evil. It's kind of the way I look at it. Protect your kids, people. Protect your kids.
From Ricky Wynn. Protect
I like his hat.
From
you
Ricky
can tell
Wynn,
by the hat. Yeah.
Who's a child trafficker.
He's one of them people that was filming homeless people for clicks.
RICCI.
Ricky Lee Wynn is a child trafficker.
Oh man.
Fuck. Wow.
Sam, yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
God, they got the they got the news clips, so this is all public. It's all
I love this. I love that this is it's just an aggregation of data, right? This is awesome.
In the press,
not what they're doing, but the fact that this exists. The next time you come across somebody and they're like, you can say Republicans are child rapists, and they'll be like, no, they're not. Pull up this list and just be like,
you know what you should do is print it out, staple it, and then put it under the windshield wipers of cars with MAGA stickers at Walmart.
They
can look at that.
A brief on you know how much that would cost? these are each like 1,000 pages.
We're
like,
sponsored.
40
We
pages,
would
just hand
love
them a
your
book.
paid sponsorships. See, that's a segue. Paid sponsorship. Yeah, it's going to be expensive to torment these guys. Yeah.
Hey, Meta, will you advertise on my list of Republican pedophiles that I'd like to post every week? You can have a slot between every 100 pedophiles. I sell a slot for an advert.
There you go.
Oh God, who else do we have here?
Kindred. Like the last names are just bizarre. There's a yeah. Yep. That's what I expected. Yep. That's what came to mind.
Appointed
U.S.
to the
District Court again.
Oh,
And
wow.
they're all appointees. Did he meet them all on Epstein Island? Is that where he got these guys from?
No
Did they have their
kidding.
recruitment?
he's
No
an
kidding.
environmental lawyer for oil and gas.
Of
You
course.
guys, when those Epstein files are dropped and like the reality of the horror that's been going on, I think we've got like, it's not even the tip of the iceberg. It's like a molecule on the top of the world. Like how evil this is, like what we know versus how bad it is. It's not the world. It's going to be reverberations.
And this is the 9th district.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow.
He resigned.
Wow.
He resigned, huh? Takes a lot to make him resign. They're good at covering up these stories. Why aren't these stories in the news?
Oil and gas.
Yeah.
Department of Interior and District Court. What does this tell us? This guy was in so many arms of government. This is why they don't want to release the Epstein files, dude, because it destroys the government. Because
he was a prosecutor, so like, how many people got away doing what he did?
Yeah, let them off plea deals, whatever. Those is buddy. Yeah.
They've asked for him to be impeached, but I don't think he's been removed.
Inquiry finds. He lied about it. Surprise.
It said he resigned in July 2024.
Oh, okay.
After the 9th District Court's Judicial Council investigated allegations. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So they didn't impeach him. He resigned. Yeah.
I'm stunned. I'm stunned to the level at which our society just doesn't hold these people accountable, doesn't talk about this stuff. That like every single day, like 50 times today, I will hear baseless accusations against the LGBTQ+ community. I'll hear them. They'll be in the background noise. You'll not hear one word about any of this. That's disgusting. That is shameful.
Samuel has incest in here. I like. All right, let's play a game.
Man,
what do you think he looks like? How
visualize it and then show? Yeah.
Like, so put the image in your head of what you think he looks like. I'm thinking Mike Johnson. White dude, middle-aged, probably 40s to 50s.
That's
glasses.
Yeah.
Mike.
See, I said Mike Johnson. We'll see. He's got there everything but the glasses. What did it have? What the hell's the name? Rapey Lee? His name is Rapey Lee?
What the fuck? Oh, fundamentalist.
20 wives. 20 wives.
Now is that okay? Help me on that, Arturo. What's the legality of having 20 wives?
Man, I'm pretty sure it's not legal.
Child, you asshole, motherfucker. Yeah, see, and that's the relationship.
Child brides.
The church marry. They're complicit.
Yeah.
They've been having child brides. They marry them right off. And you look into the history of that too. That goes on for a long time. These poor little kids, these poor little girls that get married off to these fucking predators. Church stands there and they say, "Well, if I don't do it, somebody else will." And that's another thing that is not a justification. Rapey Lee. God damn.
That was crazy.
Massapus?
What's his name? Yeah. What the hell, man?
Where did that name come from? Jeez. That's a weird one.
A long line of Massapus from
Yeah.
What the fuck? Where the hell did that name come from?
Fucking youth pastor.
He gave himself that name, I guess.
He's a youth pastor. Huh.
Yep. I know a guy. That's where he groomed a bunch of girls to be his bride that way. And it's just sort of like, I wouldn't send my kids to things like that. They literally look at that as a place to get a bride from.
Yeah.
Way too often.
A lot of child predators become youth pastors for that reason, for the access.
God damn it. and clearly there's no checking their background, and they probably,
Right. Because they, friend of a friend of a friend. Oh, he's part of the church community.
He's family. He's fine.
Right.
Fuck.
And that's how that old
Adcock. Really?
Jesus.
Yeah. I can't believe this.
Another youth pastor.
Yeah.
That's twofer.
Yeah. Hey, and even if we did this every day, for like 5 years, we still wouldn't address the imbalance of the narrative in the United States, where they baselessly attack innocent people. They're more interested in banning books from schools than they are talking about who the true predators are.
These guys can't be let out on bail. That's another thing,
dude.
They keep letting these fucking guys out on bail. What is going on? Like, you think they're not going to fucking keep doing it?
It'd be interesting to check all the judges involved with all these cases too.
Right.
There's a lot to dig into here.
I noticed a lot of these things we're looking at provide the case numbers.
Oh, wow.
So you can look.
Somebody did good work here. We gotta see if this guy's on Substack and sponsor, or girl, whoever is responsible for this.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Yeah, this is a great resource.
Yeah, it's a great list. Yeah, there's another site, whoismakingnews.com. They track a lot of this stuff because, the point of that website is to counter the, LGBTQ narrative that they're molesters and stuff like that. And like when you look, there's like maybe 2 drag queens and 1 trans person out of like thousands of cases. Of course, Peter Thiel's on there.
It's a rape apologist. Is that a joke?
They dropped Peter Thiel in South Park.
Yeah. Oh. I saw that. I was
like, dude,
I didn't see this.
I fucking have been talking about Peter Thiel for
seems like forever, yeah.
A long time. And I cannot even begin to express how fucking stoked I am to see that man on South Park. He does not like attention. He is freaking the fuck out right now.
Sure.
I know he is freaking the fuck out right now. And that just makes me so happy.
Right, the whole Antichrist thing was fucking funny as hell. Because only he knows who the Antichrist is going to be. But yeah, this shit was hilarious.
Well, this was for rape. It said rape apologist, so that doesn't seem like a serious charge. So, is that something? I mean, obviously you denounce rape apologist, but is that something you can be arrested for?
I don't know about being arrested for it, but it does speak to the silence that we were talking about earlier.
That's interesting. I didn't know that was an actual shit. Then basically half the country should be arrested for that. Then at this point, anybody who voted for a sexual predator should be arrested for being a rape apologist. Doesn't that seem like a legitimate thing to say?
I mean, kind of.
Like Tom Horny should be in jail.
What the fuck, man? Really? It's like, don't give people names like Tom Horny and Icy McRapey Face, and maybe we won't have so many rapists. And don't leave your kids with a person named
Construction.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh God, they got a clip of him. Don't play it. I don't even want to hear him. I don't want to indoctrinate anybody. We shouldn't have to subject to that. Trigger warning.
Mr. Shop.
Gavin Crowell.
Growl. That's where my mind went to.
It says 4-year-old.
Oh my God.
God damn it.
My God.
Bro.
Of course. Yep. He was there on January 6th. Everybody can
prowling, dude. He's fucking
he was probably in jail. He was probably in jail and got released again by the act of the president. Fuck. I mean, how many child sex predators got pardoned?
What?
72 hours of community service?
Oh, man.
For improperly touching a 10-year-old girl over 2 years. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, this is sick.
I don't even know what to say to that one.
Me either. What the fuck?
That judge needs to be jailed.
Yeah, no shit.
Fuck.
Wow.
Mr. Crowell, fuck you.
Yeah, that's gross.
Jesus.
We've been spending so much time waiting for the Epstein files. All we have to do is look at all the shit that's already released. It's like, I don't. This is kind of actually shocking. Yeah. Oh, wow.
What's up? He's making me look bad, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck this guy. There
skip him.
should be no Shanes on this list.
Yeah, Loveless.
All right.
Yeah, there's Loveless. You had to do it.
A youth pastor.
Yeah,
No!
another. We should play like Republican pedophile bingo, and like every time it's a youth pastor, you.
If we did a drinking game, we'd be so drunk.
Yeah.
We gotta do. Oh man, yeah, another youth pastor. Yeah,
we'd be fucking hammered. But like after okay, honestly, I think what we're learning here is don't leave your kid with a youth pastor
or
any
kind of conservative or any Republican or ever alone with a man. Maybe is fairest to say. Just completely cut it out.
Lovelace.
Yeah, Loveless. Oh God.
Another pastor.
Yeah.
Wow.
God damn it.
Wow. It's just nuts.
We're only like halfway through the list at this point, too.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what time we got. Are you guys good to go to 9:30 PST?
Yeah. Half hour we can go. Now,
right, Mr. Herbster.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
9 women of sexual battery.
Governor.
Yeah.
Had Trump's endorsement. Nice.
Yeah.
Of course you
did.
did.
Guys, this is one of those things. It's almost like you started off just sort of like having it validate what you suspected, but then as you keep going, you're like, holy shit. As much contempt as I had for this ideology, I was at, I need to have orders of magnitude more contempt for this.
I mean, I think we went into this with the intent of roasting these people, but it's just crazy. It's almost like we need to keep going, and I think we should, but like it's gotten harder.
Fatigued. I'm starting to feel fatigued from it. And you know what though? It's like, you gotta combat the narrative. But it's just so effective, their mechanism of just hiding. And just like our kids are just out there. And we knew they're willing to sacrifice our kids with the gun violence bullshit. We knew that. But then there's this.
What? Let's play a game.
Bates,
is youth pastor? Bates. Yes or no?
Well, come on now. See, that's like, that's too obvious. Let's say he's like, I want to say superintendent.
Oh,
mayor.
Science teacher.
Yeah.
Educator.
At an all-Catholic school, all-girls school.
You know what? That's another thing to talk about, like the lack of oversight in these private schools. Because so many people, they get this idea. I've talked to people. Like, first of all, private schools are there to be segregated. They're there to deny, entrance for certain kids. But then you talk to people and they're like, well, the education's better. And they have this, they're just brainwashed to think all these things.
Right.
But they do not put the teachers through the same rigorous background checks that they do in public schools. They just don't. And so there's a lot of reasons to not put your kids in private schools. Here's yet another one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is like just the forgotten news. Yeah.
You know what else is? I've seen very few maybe Latino names or names that could be an immigrant.
Yeah.
There aren't many.
Yep. Correct.
So far, it's been
Bates. There's a guy named Bates. Right. Yeah, Nerschwanger. What's his name?
What the hell is that?
Nerfwanger? Neuschwanger. I can't tell what we're looking at here.
Let's see. What did she?
Oh, that's the first woman we've found.
Yeah.
They all want to be governors, dude. Like these people are trying to seek like the highest position of authority, like all of them, right? Like they're trying to get into a position.
Power attracts sociopaths. I mean,
that's true.
Yeah, it does. I mean, to some extent, I wrote an article about that today about how the genius. I mean, it wasn't a leap forward, the Constitution, but it was basically based on this idea that you can't trust anybody with power, so we'll just divide it around. And just trust to inherent evil that they'll just hold on to their little scrap and we'll never have a tyrant. And my argument I argued today was the flaw in that is we do need a mechanism for sorting out like the true sociopaths. We have to remember that most of the guys writing the Constitution were themselves owners of human slaves who had it in their head, like they brainwashed themselves to think they could justify, like, well, it's the same. If I don't do it, somebody else will. This is human nature. Bullshit. There are people that aren't evil bastards, and we need mechanisms in place to ensure that evil bastards don't come to power. This database is emphasizing that point too.
There needs to be like a pedophile like test strip, like when you want to run for government, they got to stick it under their tongue,
swab their cheek. Oh shit!
Comes back positive. It says GOP on it. Looks like they gotta go. Like, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
And she's got domestic violence and a restraining order from her ex-boyfriend. What the fuck? The householder.
Simscox. Chris Simscox. That's the guy to look at.
Where's Simcox?
612.
612, yeah.
Right under, you got householder and Simcox.
God, the whiskey. Yeah. Oh, man. Poverty Law Center. Oh, yeah.
Nope. He wasn't a pedophile enough. So,
yeah. Oh, man. Yeah.
Shit, man. Fuck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. You know what? And then I've had a lot of people on some of the articles I wrote, and there's all these just wonderful women, and they write about the shit that they've had to endure, and just nobody else will listen, and just like, they've filed complaints against their ex-husband for these types of things. The police does it, not a goddamn thing. And fortunately, I'm hearing from the ones that survive, because there's so many women out there that don't survive this stuff. And that's another thing we have to make up the gap in the outrage, because there's so many of these, we have to do it for the sake of the survivors and for those that didn't survive. And that's the other thing we have to remember, because so many of them don't.
Yeah. This one's pretty bad.
Yeah, this one is pretty bad.
They operated that reminds me of that Penn State bullshit where that guy had he had like a whole orphanage, and it's like, I'm this deeply religious guy helping the impoverished, and it was just to like harvest kids so he could rape them. We need to talk.
I think I read about this back in 2023. This was like this was actually a pretty big thing. Missouri boarding school. Yeah, like, is that a Trump flag? Yep. Flying a Trump flag.
Another desecrated American flag, like flag code tells you not to do. Like flag code tells you not to display all kinds of nasty shit on the American flag.
Yeah. Berry Hill.
Rape culture. Really? Some of these charges are just they're blowing my mind.
This guy's a Texan.
Another primary. They're all man. Is this only the database of people that have run for office, or?
I think this is just I think they have to be politically associated in some way, so they can be tied to the GOP. A nation without borders is like a woman raped and defiled, her precious value pillaged and taken.
It's like they're quoting from the Cornerstone speech, every single one of them.
God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Even after spending all these years researching this is just shocking.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know how they're like okay. Like this is like
all living their best life. They're probably all millionaires. They're probably sitting in mansions just laughing at us.
No, I mean like whoever does this. Like this is like imagine looking at this all the time.
Compiling this?
We're gonna stop, after this hour, we're gonna go and write about something else. Someone has to do this. This is like a full-time job to get all of this information.
Do you guys know Ellie Leonard? She's great. She's here on Substack. She's been going through, and she's got a background where she's transcribed like a lot of legal documents, and so she's just been taking it upon herself to go through everything that's been released in these Epstein files. I asked her, I'm just like, how do you even? It's like your mental health. It's like, because she's just a really, really sweet lady, and she's a mother, and I'm just like, how do you do this to yourself? And she said it was really touching, because she says, there's a lot of people on this line to bring these predators to justice, she says, and I'm one of them, and that's what keeps her going. And she said it, and I'm just like, God, thank you on behalf of all the little girls and little boys that you are out helping and protecting. These are the kind of people. It almost brought me to tears though, just talking to her then, and you know, just thanking these people doing stuff like that. She's one. I'll link to her when I post this. You guys all got to be subscribing to Ellie Leonard.
Absolutely.
She's fantastic.
Let's check out Mr. Panky.
Yeah, of course his name. I can't get over these names.
Yep. What the hell?
Yep. Steve Panky. There'll be no hanky with Steve Panky.
Oh, protect.
Oh yeah, your Second Amendment rights. Yeah. For all the fathers. For all the fathers who want to avenge their abused children. This is something.
Oh, kidnapping and murder.
Oh, fuck.
Holy shit.
What the fuck?
It says he was convicted. Is he still in jail, or did they give him like 6 months?
I think for murder, he has to be in jail.
You would guess, but nothing is for certain. We should never assume in the United States.
That's true. Let's see where he's at now.
Oh, he was guilty.
Wow.
Life in prison with parole after 20 years.
It's just shocking because if anything like this, if any database like this existed for the people that they accuse, you damn well know it would be on the television, would be on mainstream news 24/7. It's just so disgusting that this is essentially buried.
This exists, right? Like, but it's on WordPress. Like, if you think about why is it on WordPress? Like, they probably tried to put it other places.
Maybe.
But all these links though. All the links to like the newspaper articles, it's so well done.
So well done.
What a resource this is.
Let's see who the first person on the list is.
Yeah, number 1. Just the first guy they found. Oh, yeah. Man. That's him, the first?
Where is
Oh, there's your list. Yeah, somebody mentioned Ellie in the chat. Thank you for mentioning her. She's so wonderful. I had a nice talk with her the other day. There's a lot of people out there doing such good work that if we ever get through this, you too, Arturo and Shane, you guys, I really appreciate the stuff you guys do.
Yeah, I liked your most recent article, Shane. That was badass.
Thanks, man.
I like the way you did it. For whatever, I don't know what you did or whatever, but it kept me hooked the whole way through it. Of course, Donald Trump's number 1.
Yeah, you knew that. You knew that before you did that, didn't you? You set us up. But good work there on that. Good work there on that. Yeah. Fuck.
I may or may not have skimmed this beforehand.
Yeah.
No, what the hell?
You knew, but it was good. That Roy Moore is the guy who just got like a 6-month sentence too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. They always get.
I'm glad you liked the article.
3,
yeah. If you guys haven't read the article I wrote yesterday, be cool if you went and checked it out. It's not doing super well in the algorithm. I did try something new, so it'd be cool if you guys read it. It's going to be a multi-part series though. I was writing about the evolution of drone warfare in Ukraine. And how basically NATO is actually not in a position to beat Russia in the current landscape. So it's all about, the first article is all about the beginning of the Ukraine war and how the war developed, how Russia began the conflict, and how the losses inflicted on Russia, the provision of different weapons, and it's kind of just an overview on how effective the drones were. And the next article that I'm going to be working on today is going to be all about the evolution of drone warfare and the different tactics that were used to really accomplish the things that we touched on in that first article. But yeah, if you guys have the time to go read it, I hope you do. We don't need to click on Donald Trump.
No, I don't need to see him.
No.
I like to pretend he doesn't exist.
His face. Who's Mr. Shortridge?
Yeah, that's why he's so angry.
Campaign consultant.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
not a nice person.
Yeah. Well, it's not a nice person.
Yeah.
We got to get this person on here. Whoever did this, compiled this, we got to get them on and talk to them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They deserve some more visibility.
This is a hell of a resource. I mean, this thing is, this is a very good resource. Oh, what? This version is like all of them with the picture. How did I get this?
Yeah, I see that.
Oh, I think you did. Oh,
I
okay.
think that's at the bottom.
Yeah, we wouldn't want to scroll through like that.
He was a state trooper.
Oh man.
Uh-huh.
You know, that's another thing that there's just no accountability there. There's that insider white supremacy code of silence. I was telling you weren't here yet, Arturo. I wrote this article the other day about how women just despise unmasculine Republican men. I wrote it because
I saw that article.
Well, my articles get aggregated on this conservative site. So I've been just writing articles to troll them with titles like that. And it got posted there. It had like 1,000 comments, like 800 to 1,000 comments in like 10 minutes, and then they removed it. So I have to write another. I'm like censored by Republicans once again because they're too weak to take any kind of criticism. So that's going to be.
Is it on? Is it VDare?
I'm not going to say. I don't want to give them any oxygen. I'll tell you off air.
Okay, yeah, because I've had my stuff posted there, and then I had some dude put a bounty on me like probably 7-8 years ago, like $5,000. I thought it was hilarious. They also put a bounty on a couple other writers, and of course it didn't last. And some of the other writers at the time were like military, ex-military, and they were like, "Come on, bring it!" Like, I don't give a fuck, bring it.
They try to intimidate us,
but yeah, it didn't take long for the feds to get on that.
Oh, good, they actually followed up on that one.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it was, I think it was either right before or right after Trump took office last time.
Okay,
it was around that time, just after that election in 2016.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was crazy. It was like $5,000. I'm like, wow, $5,000. Yeah. That's not bad.
I guess. Turn myself in for that much. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, no shit. So yeah, it was
I would like to point out here as we go through. This is like the first black person that I've seen on the list. Doesn't mean there's not, but like you said this earlier, Arturo, and it was like you don't see a lot of Hispanic people on here either. These are white men, predominantly. These are white Christian men. And like if we took this and I put all this in a spreadsheet and I had it sorted by function, I would be willing to bet the percentage of all minorities would be less than
I'd say less than 1%. It's small, and women.
It'd be pretty low, I think.
I honestly like lower, I think, but I want to be conservative because I don't know if I don't want to overstate. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was in a 1%, if it was a single digit.
I'm of the mind all the violence in the United States is derived from white supremacy hate ideology, 100% of it, because no matter, what the person who pulled the trigger voted for, he was taught to devalue human life by right-wing white supremacy. So I think we should just forcefully say, you get rid of that right-wing radicalization of our kids, which involves child rape, as we can see, because you break people down, you trauma bond them to an authority figure, and then it makes you blind to the crimes they commit. And then they go on, in worst cases, they go on to kill people. Arguably, the worst cases are what we're looking at right now.
Yeah.
Colonized minds, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A state senator.
Yeah, that's scary.
Was on the higher education board.
God, they get these positions of power. They claw right in.
I mean, seriously, he's a judge.
Yeah.
What?
God, fucking damn it.
Hennepin County, huh?
Well, there you go. That's how these guys get fucking bail, right? This is how they get community service, right fucking here.
Yeah.
Talk about authority. Talk about putting yourself in a position where you can get away with anything, right?
That's probably why they seek out authority, not for the, just so they can get away with all their crimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they hold on to it until they die in office. Because they know if they go out, they'll be held accountable. That's why we got to primary everybody. Everybody watching, go out and primary. Participate. Get people to participate in the primaries. But also, everybody watching, just don't assume that the people in important offices in your community, whether it's school board, go and just look into their background a little bit. Because obviously they're everywhere. And they're always the ones that we've all been indoctrinated not to even consider.
He was just reprimanded, dude.
Oh, man.
What?
And you just
retired. What was the accusation?
He retired a month before being reprimanded. What?
Yeah.
Sexual activity from his office.
Yeah. Hearing explicit. Inappropriate comments. And that's the other thing that gets back to this fucking chat, like the Nazi young Republican chat, where they're just like, and they try to brush that off too, and they're trying to do everything they can to distract. Bunch of white supremacists. Of course they are.
Oh yeah, foster child advocacy.
Oh, those poor girls, kids in foster care. Priest. Her last name was Priest.
Yeah. I have to say, like, I feel like our foster system, and if you think about this, we think about all of the people that are on this list and their position of political power. How can we not assume, like, not consider the ability, like the potential that they built a federal system to enable them to be pedophiles because they're clearly fucking pedophiles.
Yeah.
Why would we not consider the fact that these federal systems that are sculpted by pedophiles are not in an image that would allow them to skim kids out of the system?
Like, you're talking about that, and here in Texas, Child Protective Services has so many kids in its custody that they have them in hotels and motels, and they're not really supervised. There's like one or two people, and those kids come up missing all the time, and that's exactly what you were just discussing. Them kids, they'll disappear, and who knows what happens to them. And it's a huge problem. There's been a lot of activists that go to these hotels and they start recording, these people who are supposed to be caring for these kids. And every time these people are playing on their phones, they're in their room on their computer.
Yeah.
They're not making sure these kids have food. They're not being taken care of. And like these kids wander off, go to the corner store for something to eat and disappear.
And we've got this whole corrupt media that talks about absolute bullshit, that talks about absolute nonsense, and refuses to talk about these direct and present threats to all children and our children. It's going to be caught up in this. It's sick.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy. There's a lot of news articles here in the Houston area about that whole thing with CPS and the kids and stuff like that. It's just nuts.
This guy was a pastor,
foster parent,
of 76 kids.
Wow.
And it's always like the poor survivors, and a lot of them, your heart goes out to them, and you don't want to put pressure on them to come forward, but these poor kids, I'm sure a lot of them have stories to tell. Our society comes down harder on the survivors than it does on the abusers.
Yeah.
Chief media officer at a church, 11 charges of rape, sexually charged with abusing 3 minors. Bail set at $2 million. They gave him fucking bail. Why?
Yeah.
Why did they get bail? Fuck that. You know what? I don't think you're entitled to bail if you rape people. If your crime is something that could potentially pose a threat to the public, and rape is a threat to the public, then you should not be given bail. That is not how this works. The very fact that the system allows for this is completely unacceptable, because they put women in danger by even offering this man money. And then you consider that these Republicans are well connected to very wealthy people. They can post a $2 million bail. These mega churches could probably post a $2 million bail. And if these guys know they're going to go to jail, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to go fucking rape as many people as they possibly can before they go away. Of course they are. It's fucking stupid. I mean, like...
Yeah, like the Texas Constitution requires bail in every case. The only time you can deny bail is in a capital offense, like capital murder and stuff like that. Okay. Yeah, but even then, in some cases, when you're just tried for murder, like they'll, set bail extremely high.
Yeah.
$5-10 million, things like that.
Arturo, somebody wrote a question for you. It says, Nikki says, I've been thinking about becoming a child advocate for the foster care here in Lubbock, Texas. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not real sure where you begin with that in this state, because you get involved with like CPS and stuff. It's kind of dangerous, and the stuff they do is real shady. I mean, we need more child advocacy here in this state for sure, because there's a lot of really shady stuff. Like, I can try to post this article from the Texas Tribune in the comments, that talks about a lot of like the stuff with the child welfare groups here in Texas and how they keep them in hotels, and like kids are exposed and can easily disappear. And there might be some info in there. I don't really know too much about the child advocacy space, unfortunately.
But yeah, thank you, Nikki, for even offering that. Get out there. I mean,
Yeah.
kids need help. They do.
Yeah.
God, and especially armed with this information about how bad it actually is.
Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. Again, we don't talk about it enough. Especially when, like here in Texas, it becomes a story when a kid disappears or something from a motel, but in a couple days it's gone and nobody addresses the bigger problem. Are these kids actually safer in a motel than they were from the parents you took them from? Because that's something that should be weighed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. She goes on. She says, we're talking about 3-month-old babies. Yeah. And then, the people guilty aren't really punished. What the hell, man? I mean, America, what the hell? I guess the election, I was very hopeful coming into the election that my hopes about what this country were going to be rewarded. And instead, we just have to face the rot. And this is it.
Yeah.
Like, this is an important thing that we're doing right now. Like, just
it's not comfortable, but you have to know.
It's super uncomfortable. Like, I will say this makes me uncomfortable more than I thought. Like, because the realization of just how much power these people have and where they are in our society, and also more so, I think, the repercussions of their actions, how lenient they are, is how oppressed by woke people are.
Is allegedly a comedian. Yeah.
Hey, you banned all pins but the American flag. This was a flight today.
These are the conservative groups, because he says Fox News is too woke. And that's another thing nobody mentions, how there's that level of like just ultra extreme radicalized groups that are they're the ones that are always responsible for radicalizing kids, these white supremacy podcasts that for some reason nobody wants to talk about them, or like the video game chats where they're talking about or that chat that was just released by the Young Republicans, just the horrible things they say.
Yeah, and I don't know that we probably not going to talk about that enough in this current environment because of how fast news goes, but that's a pretty important thing. Like we need to really discuss how these Republicans talk about people behind the scenes, because these guys, the clean cut Klansmen, like I like to call them. That's everywhere in the White House with all the, Christian nationalism and things like that. We're in a pretty bad space at the moment. And the way these people talk about others, behind the scenes, and that's kind of the attitude that drives policy. It's crazy.
And the way they talk about people openly is just fucking disgusting. And you just have to, an awareness. I mean, this is that deep dive, what we're doing here. And I bet this is, like we get those Epstein files, that's going to be just reprehensible too. I mean, stuff you can't, like decent people can't imagine. You just can't imagine. Our minds don't come up with this torturous, horrible betrayal, this level of betrayal and abuse, and just indecency. It's just awful.
Like, if this guy's elected chair of the Oregon Republican Party, okay, like what position does this hold? Like, and he was a pastor, okay, like the overlap, okay, like there's it's one thing to just make an allegation. It's another thing when a pattern is so overwhelming that we can deduce from this that there is a cultural overlap between pastors, the Republican Party, and like these and positions of authority where these three things consistently arise in these profiles. And these guys also, like a lot of these, I don't see anywhere where he was arrested. He resigned.
Yeah,
He
that's
just
like the
resigned.
punishment. They're just like, oh, just go to another city and do it in another city. You know, that's what because it's like we've been also indoctrinated. Again, the white supremacy code of silence, where we're just not supposed to point it out when the supreme patriarch authority figure does something fucking evil that would just, you know, deflate their entire ideology because everybody's trauma bonded. They just say, well, let's just push that off to the side and go along like it's business as normal. And that's why these jerks, they can get to these positions because they always are leering at you. They're always blaming you. You're never good enough when they're the ones doing these just horrific crimes. Then they'll be the first to turn around and blame you if any of the accusations come their way.
Yeah.
He denies everything. He doesn't. I didn't do
it.
it.
We got to push back.
It wasn't me.
Yeah.
Believe the fucking victim.
Yes.
Of course, they're gonna deny it. Of course, they're gonna deny it.
Yeah. He denies this. Well, what do you think he's gonna do?
Yeah. All right, I'm tapped out. I've had enough pedophilia.
That was a hard one. I was ready for rage, and I'm just like disgusted. But I think that was an important one.
I did not think it was going to be that tough. I'll be honest.
I gotta go walk the dog and just imagine scenarios.
Might be a couple weeks before we do that one again.
Yeah, not like that. We'll just come in and laugh at him for being unmasculine little peanuts again. That was fun last time.
That was
in the AOC one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that. But what I will say is, there's 153 people here.
Thank you.
Go talk about how all these fucking people are pedophiles. Go tell them what we just learned today. That all these people are fucking governors and pastors and in the child,
the child welfare space
services.
Yeah.
You know,
and the next time your child says my teacher or my pastor or my youth group, he's not being appropriate. Believe your kids. Believe them. Believe them. They know what abuses they do.
And maybe actually ask your kids these questions, because they might identify the behavior. But when your kid comes back from youth group or comes back from school, say, did your teachers do any of these things? Did they do this? Did your pastor do any of these behaviors? Because kids don't know. It's why they are so easily targeted, because they don't understand that certain behaviors are not acceptable. So as a parent, when you're looking at where these people are positioning themselves, you need to ask your kids so that you can protect them, because they're not going to catch what you're going to catch. But does your pastor hug the kids? Does he hug the other kids? You know, does he pay more attention to the girls than the boys? Does he pay more attention to the boys than the girls? Does he ever take people for special one-on-one time? Does he get people's numbers? Ask these questions, because these guys are so confident. They don't try and hide it. They are not discreet. So it'll allow you, if we look for these things, then I think we are going to find that we could get to a position that is actually it'll be much easier to expose these people. It's about
hold them accountable. Hold them accountable.
Absolutely.
Can't let them off the hook. And don't let anybody pressure you to let them off the hook, because that's going to happen too if you do catch them.
Yeah, that's where that comes from too, especially with like the youth pastors and stuff. You know, you'll get a lot of pressure from the higher ups in the church. You know, he's this good guy and this, that, and the other. And you know, I've heard stuff about people letting their kids go to their youth pastor's house. Don't do that.
Yeah,
don't do that. They don't need to be in a grown man's house. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's weird. You just gotta put your foot down and protect your kids, man. First and foremost, before anything.
Yeah. Like, this is not about politics. It's about children. It's about protecting children. It's very simple. It doesn't need to be a complicated political issue. Child rape is not a political issue.
Yeah.
Sexual assault is not a political issue. It is a moral issue. If you are opposed to bringing child rapists to justice, you need to be fucking prosecuted as well, because children cannot protect themselves. And if you're going to enable people to continue to do this because you are opposed to accepting a different political belief, a different economic belief, you are so opposed to a different ideology that you think these people should be allowed to persist in positions of power where they rape children, then you can go fuck yourself. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. If you're a Republican and you read that list and you say, well, I bet you there's a list of Democrats just as long, then the Democrats should go to fucking jail too.
Yeah. Absolutely. Get them. Get them.
Like I'm over it. I'm over it. That's like you know, if the next time I see someone who says there's like, oh, like the Democrats are corrupt. I just read a list of 1,400 fucking Republican political
high-ranking, powerful guys
that are rapists. Don't fucking talk to me until you can find a 1,400 name list long of the Democrats, because I will vote against any Democrat that has a history of sexual abuse. But you fucking should not vote for a Republican because you can't vote for a Democrat, even if that Republican is a child rapist. Like, that's it, right? Man. Fuck them. Like, fuck them. Get I got nothing.
Yeah, I'm at that point too. Just furious, just mad.
You know, some things don't need to be politicized. This is one of those. You know what I mean? There are a lot of things like this that shouldn't be politicized, and this is it. You know, gun violence shouldn't be, like, all kinds of stuff. But yeah, this is one of those things, man. It's just not political at all. It's about kids' safety.
Yeah, it's that simple, right? I think that's the perfect way to end it. It's that simple.
Yes. Yep.
Well, all right, everybody. Thank you for joining us for today and the first inaugural episode of The Rant. I hope you enjoyed. Next week, we will not be talking about child predators for an hour straight. So, you know,
oh man,
it'll be a lighter episode. But you know, it was fun to talk with you guys, and I'm so happy to have you and be doing this series. Everyone in the chat, make sure you go and visit all 3 of our Substacks, subscribe, and read our articles. Go check out the article I wrote about drones. It's cool.
Yes, check that out. It's a good one. It's a good one.
But, you know, with that said, everybody, we will see you next Friday. Burn bright, resist, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.